I'm going to talk about the DeSantis monkey comment here in a minute. Why didn't he get the benefit of the doubt, Michael?
Why didn't DeSantis get the benefit of the doubt?
The assumption was that he didn't misspeak, that it was 100% a racial dog whistle. Is it because he's connected to Trump? He didn't get the benefit of the doubt from many people, including Fox News.
Because he's connected to Trump. It's because it's how white folks talk about black men who are successful.
Let's hear the whole thing, just so people can hear it. I think it's important because I want to hear. Do we have the part of? I hope we have. Yeah, we have a longer version of the bite that gets at exactly what you're saying here. Here it is.
He is an articulate spokesman for those far left views, and he's a charismatic candidate. And, I watched those Democrat debates. None of that was my cup of tea. But, he performed better than the other people there. So we've got to work hard to make sure that we continue Florida going in a good direction. Let's build off the success we've had on Governor Scott. The last thing we need to do is to monkey this up by trying to embrace a socialist agenda with huge tax increases and bankrupting the state. That is not going to work. That's not going to be good for Florida. So I'm going to fight for what I believe in, because I think I'm the guy who can really lead Florida in a good direction.
What'd you hear?
I heard that he's articulate. He performs well. He's checking off those boxes. Why do you have to describe him that way?
What makes him articulate?
Yeah, what makes him articulate? Chuck, you are an articulate man. You perform well. Mm-hmm. Now, that says one thing, but when you...
Doesn't happen to a lot of white candidates.
Doesn't happen to a lot of white candidates. But here's the rub. Who uses the term monkey things up? To be honest, I know about a monkey wrench. I heard of don't monkey around, but I've never heard that term used that.
So you're not giving him the benefit of the doubt?
No, I'm not, because that came from that space that says to that audience that he was talking to, that Fox audience, which is why Fox's response is so important.
It's fascinating.
That they pushed back on that, was that this is in the land of Trump. Yeah, I took the train, the Trump train to stupid land, and I'm going in, and here we are.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.